Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Thursday, January the 3rd, 2013. We're going to be looking at the S&P 500 today just for a moment because I want to show you something on the VIX. So I want to be able to compare those two because you know that they run the inverse of one another. Looking at the S&P or the SPX, you can see the S&P 500 large cap index here shows that we had a little bit of downward activity today, but it's nothing major. It's just we had a little bit higher intraday activity, then a little bit lower, and we just kind of closed about in the midpoint. And all we're doing, we're a little small candlestick formation here, is consolidation, which is something I expected and we talked about yesterday. I basically expect you to just kind of consolidate at this level. You can see a little intraday activity here and there, but I think you're basically going to form hammer candlestick formations at this range here. You may dip down lower, but if you were to do that before, I would think it would be a move before going higher. Therefore, a deeper move lower would just be a buy opportunity, and I would be looking for that. But I don't think you're going to get that. I think instead you're just going to move sideways here and consolidate for a while and then move again higher. In short, if you're not already long this market, you should be. The trend is up. You have higher highs, higher lows, and whenever you have that scenario, you want to be looking for great buy opportunities, looking for quality pullbacks, hammer candlestick formation. Typically found the best buy opportunities will be at or below the 50-period moving average, that red line right there. So be looking for these opportunities. Now let's go look at the VIX. In looking at the VIX, you can see that we have this chart marked as something that you may be interested in buying as of tomorrow's market open, and we want to be a buyer if we see today's high taken out. We have a very weak hammer candlestick formation here, and that's why we're interested in this. But we need confirmation. The confirmation would be taking out this high point. Today's high was 1492, so if intraday tomorrow we receive 1493, you could take that as a buy opportunity with a stop set off of today's low, 1 cent below today's low, and be looking for this gap to fill. You have a close at this point here, and then an intraday high at this point here. So this is a lot of unfilled gap right here that's looking to be filled. At least a move to the 50-period moving average would be warranted. Also, I want to point out that if you have just got done looking at the S&P 500, you know that we had a little bit of a sell-off today in the S&P 500, and yet when you look at the VIX, you can see we had a little bit of a sell-off in the VIX as well. What the VIX is doing right here is basically overshooting to the downside. They overshot to the upside here, and now they're just doing the exact opposite in the other direction. And this is actually a bullish divergence. If you actually look at this time period here from the close point here, and then current close, you can see it's downtrending right here. If we actually compare that to the ultimate oscillator, we can see that the low point here on the momentum was that time period was here, and then we look at the current time period here, we see momentum is actually stronger than it was back here to the upside here and weaker to the downside. Therefore, we have a bullish divergence telling you that you're overshooting to the downside. It will be unsustainable at this point, and you should be looking for an entry opportunity on the long side. Of course, we saw this yesterday because of the massive gap that you had right here. But we didn't mark the chart because we didn't have a hammer candlestick formation. Hammer candlestick formations tells us that we're starting to see some buy pressure, and therefore if there's a buy pressure there and it's strong, it'll hold and we'll bounce off of that. So that's what we're waiting for. That's what we got today. Be looking at this for a possible move to the upside here. If you've not been to the free website at PerfectStockAlert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. And also, we're giving away $1 million to all the people that could show up to the website today, so that's important. Actually, that's not true, but it could be. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.